company, and this is The Dreaming Show. In today's show, my guest is the wonderful JODY KALPENOS. She's a feminine connection mentor to a guia, a speaker, and author. The program today is How Get Freedom from the Past. Hello, JODY. How are you? Thank you for being with us.
Oh, my pleasure. How are you, Gaby?
Good, very good. Please, what I know is you experienced some issues in your life. Your brother passed away. You have family issues, miscarriage, divorce. Could you tell us, please, how these issues affected your life?
What did they do? They really crippled me on many levels. They put me in a place where I felt a lot of fear about life. I didn't trust life. I didn't trust people. I found it hard to step out with confidence and do certain things. I didn't have much love for myself. I doubted that people would love me, that I had anything to offer. I don't think I really knew myself as a woman. There were certain things I knew about myself, but definitely what I really deeply wanted and that I deserved to have in life, I didn't really know. And so because I had taken on a family pattern of stuffing all my feelings inside, like really never telling anyone how I felt or how something affected me, so it all just piled inside.
So you've been keeping all the pain within you.
Absolutely.
So from 1 to 10, how did you feel?
1 to 10, well, I had some great years in there. There were some, younger years that running around in the country and the freedom of being out in the bush, and I think that was probably a fantastic thing. I have actually very fond memories of those years. But I think there were things in the family that we weren't always close, and you weren't able to always speak up, and so that was kind of developing. But I think when I turned 11 and we lost our house in the Ash Wednesday fires, that kind of just shattered the family, and because
it was a bushfire.
Yes, absolutely. And because there wasn't a strong foundation as a family, we didn't stay together. Many of us, or 2 of us, were heading into our teen years, so you already have that element of going within a bit more and not being open and sharing. But it was exemplified, and there was a lot of grief and a lot of pain, and nobody spoke it. So you just kind of were wallowing and floating around in a family that was really struggling.
So what did you do?
What did I do? Well, I ended up moving away. I went up to Sydney, and I felt that I needed some distance, and then I would go on and also live in London, but I also learnt that distance doesn't heal pain, it goes with you. So yes,
everywhere.
That's right. So yes.
So we need to change,
yes.
Otherwise it goes with us everywhere.
Exactly, and I had amazing experiences through Sydney and London and travelling, but it was all still there, and it was just waiting for me to move back to Melbourne and be back around my family for it to really be triggered again. And it built from there. So, and having my own children, or my first child really, it starts to bring up things, and it makes you question how you grew up and how you want to parent and what you don't. I certainly didn't like certain things about myself as a mother, and I didn't want to keep going that way. And then after having had the miscarriage, I think it was just this swirling tsunami within me, and it all became too much one day. And it was a day after many weeks of wanting to run away. I would wake up and wanted to just run away from my little boy and my husband and curl up in a ball and not have any responsibility, not cook for anyone, not make a decision, really just hide away in a cave, or I don't know. But for me it really wasn't an option, because I knew how I felt growing up in a family where grief wasn't dealt with.
Could you tell me, JODY, what was the main trigger to feel what you say, to run away from your family, your kid, your husband? What happened exactly?
It was this feeling inside, like my heart, my insides were going to explode. Like I felt trapped. I suffocated. I felt suffocated and trapped. And an internal pain really is all I can describe it, this ache within me, and not knowing how to speak about it, not knowing what to do with it, and like it was all too much, not knowing how to find my way out of feeling that on the inside. And so for me it was about just running. I didn't know what else to do, so running seemed to be the only option on those days. And because I had also shown a face to the world that I'm okay, I'll keep going, I'm a strong woman, I'm independent, I can do this, and it wasn't in my nature to admit that I needed help.
So finally, exactly what did you do to change and to be the success woman that you are now?
So what I did is I reached out to my auntie and throughout all my tears, and she listened, and she had a person for me that lived locally that she suggested I talk to. So I rang that lady and made an appointment, and I began to go and talk to her about my life and my story. So she wasn't a conventional psychologist, she was a transformational therapist, and she was the first person who I felt had ever validated my story, who ever validated how I felt, who made me feel that I wasn't making it up, that my feelings were real and okay, and that I was right to have felt some of the things I'd felt. And I really just began with that, and that was my first steps. And I started to, after about a year, I started to like how it felt to deal with this stuff, and I noticed little changes, and I started to get more strength in myself, and it just went from there. So as I became stronger, the next layer came up to deal with, and then I would deal with that. It was like I was building my inner resources, building my inner strength.
So you started talking, opening your heart.
Absolutely, absolutely, and just pouring forth, and also owning up to my part in some of my decisions, taking responsibility for where I had created things, understanding why, so really understanding why I'd made that decision based on my past, but also owning that I still made the choice, and that it was not up to me to point fingers at other people, and just to sit back and say, well, this was part of my journey, and that some of these things that happened are actually part of life's plan, and they teach you a lesson that is very valuable. And there's always a gift inside a lesson. So I learnt to see that not everything is bad.
Yeah, of course. I like what you say, Jody. We need to take responsibility, and we have choices in life. Everything is choices.
Yes.
Wonderful. Please, could you give us 3 strategies for women? Probably they are suffering like you or more than you. Tell us 3 strategies that they can apply with.
Number 1, you need to decide that you've had enough. And by enough I mean you don't want to continue living your life the way you are. You don't want to continue feeling the way you feel. And I think until you make the decision that you really want to change where you're at in your life, nothing is going to happen. It's as they say about addictions, unless that person makes the choice, nothing will work. So you really, really need to get to that point in your life where you want change, and you want something different, something more for yourself.
So we need to be clear that enough is enough. We have the opportunity of changing. We can change everything.
Absolutely.
Stop suffering.
Yes.
I like that. Thank you. Tell me another one, please.
I think you need to, number 2 is you need to actually be very clear about what you want in life. So very clear about the kind of partner you want. You need to be very clear about how you want that relationship to look. Then you need to be very clear about the wider part of your life. Are you doing the job that you want to do? What kind of job is it that you want to do? And to start with things like, so for example, with your job, is you want to have flexible hours. You want to be able to do something that you're passionate about. You want to be able to have a certain amount of holidays each year. And it's getting specific on those things. And with your relationship, for me it was things about, I wanted it to be passionate. I wanted it to be mutually respectful. I want it to be an honest relationship. So be clear in yourself about what it is you want, and I suggest that you write them down, and you can refine it over time as you grow and evolve, but start with being clear, because then it will be the foundation for you going forward and the decisions that you will make.
What you want and why.
And why
And
is
why.
very important.
Why is you are waking up every single morning
That's
to do
right.
things in life.
Yes.
In my case, for example, I think my big why is my family.
Yes.
What I mean is my kids, my husband, and my mom is
Yes.
a big why. Thank you.
Yes.
Tell me another one, please.
By inner guidance, I mean intuition. So that voice that you may hear, a pull in your heart, but always follow that, because often it will lead you to the person, it will lead you to a place, it will lead you to a book that you need to read, it will lead you to a workshop that you need to attend. So for example, you might look in a course guide and there's a workshop that just you keep coming back to. That's your inner guidance or your intuition telling you that is what you need to go to. And I would often find at a bookstore that there'd be one spine that would be sitting out for me. And it was like, okay, and I would keep coming back to it. And I'd take that book home, and there may only be a chapter in that book that I needed to read, but in that moment in time where I was, it was exactly what I needed.
Or you choose one page and you say, oh my God,
Yes.
this page is going to help me.
That's right. And
It's
it
magic.
may be a sentence on a page. Like
Yeah.
it may be that you simply open the book at the bookstore and you get what you need. But that is that following your intuition. And I've done that in terms of going to France. There was a tour I wanted to go on to. And I saw this ad in the magazine and my whole body tingled and I was so excited, and I said, I need to be on that. And I didn't know how that was going to happen because I had 2 little children. But I knew in myself that it had something to do with my future and I needed to go. And everything ended up falling into place within 1 week, actually, after I'd made the decision to trust that would happen. 1 week, everything. It was like these puzzle pieces fell into place.
Wonderful.
Oh, it was amazing. So that's there for a reason, and part of being a feminine connection mentor is teaching women that is some of our power as a woman. We have that really strong intuition.
Yes.
So use it and trust it and let it be your guide to keep you safe, to guide you home, I say.
Yes, thank you, thank
My
you.
pleasure.
Tell me about your book, Finding Freedom, Finding Me, Jody KALPENOS. You are going to launch this book. Could you tell us, please, about the book?
Well, this book actually rose up out of me in May. My story started to come up within me, and it's important for me to give meaning to what I've gone through. I believe I've gone through what I have so that I can help other women and inspire other women to see that you can rise up from the story, from the past, from your pain, and create a new melody for your life. And I'm very passionate about us healing ourselves, about really getting back to being feminine, which is about feeling our feelings. We've been taught that feelings are wrong, and about seeing the gift in so many things, that there is love wherever you look.
Yes.
And I really
Be
see
grateful.
exactly, and I see love in the many characters in my life who many would say have caused me pain. But for me, they've actually brought me home to me. They've been the people that have played a part in me realising who I am, realising my strength, helping me actually to come back and love myself. So I see them, I say thank you. Thank you for doing that. It cracked my heart open. It made me stand up and know my worth. It made me stand up and know that I deserved more. And they just played their little role. So
I like when you say deserve more. We deserve more.
Oh, everyone does.
Every single day.
But you have to believe it deep
Yes,
inside.
we need to believe.
Yes.
We don't believe, nothing happens. Please, could you explain me about this part? It's feed your mind and soul.
Oh, a chapter in the back of my book, I share books that I've read, and it may only be a chapter or something, but any book that has come across my path that made a difference to me in my journey at the time. So I've given books as resources, and there are also some web addresses for some more information, and some of it is about topics that I talk about in my book. There is family constellations, Mary Magdalene, Cathars, and general spirituality. So there are many things that have come across my path that have opened my world, and helped me. So I just wanted to share that with women.
Wonderful. Chapter 13, A Letter to My Boys. Did you write a letter to your boys?
I did.
Oh, tell me that.
They haven't read it yet. I've kept it.
How old are they?
They are now 10 and a half and nearly 8.
Uh-huh.
So I wrote that back in 2010, and I felt that I would write a letter to them at some stage.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to write a letter to say that why I had made some of the decisions I'd made, so that
Yes.
when they're older, if they say, why did you divorce Daddy, when they're old enough, I can talk to them about not wanting them to carry my burden of pain, that I love them enough and that I really held their hearts in my hands, and to trust that the journey I went on was about freeing them so that they could live their own life.
Yes, yes. It says, writing a letter to my 2 precious boys is an attempt to explain why I had made certain decisions in my life. Was something I wanted to do. I hope that. Amazing, very, very powerful.
Yes.
You know, start thinking about when your kids grow up more and start reading your book and the message. So powerful.
They are such a part of my journey, and I know they're playing their role, and they are precious souls really, and I know they've chosen to be with me, and they really are the one that inspire me. They inspire me to be a better mum. I'm not afraid to tell them that I've not been a good mum and that I'm sorry and I will work better. That's right. And that I'm trying my best. And I know that my oldest especially, he can see how far I have come. They are the mirror for what I've not healed.
Yeah.
When I learnt that when my youngest was really angry for a time, and my therapist said to me, well, what are you angry about? And I went home and I sat with it, and actually it was me that was angry, and he was simply showing me that I was not looking at myself, and as soon as I did that, he stopped. So I now look at them, and then when it's something that you know is not their ordinary child kind of thing happening, I look at myself, and 90% of the time it's me.
Yeah.
And they're mirroring it for me.
Yeah, also we must remember when we've been a little kids, you know.
Yes.
So we haven't been perfect.
That's right.
Thank you, Jody. Could you tell us please about the launch of your book?
I'm launching it on the 26th of September, so I'm celebrating that with my close friends and family who've been through all of this with me and supported me and believed in me when I didn't believe in myself, actually. So, but from that date, 26th of September, it will be available from my website, www.jodykalpenos.com, and that will be through Amazon. But you can actually pre-order it now on the website, and I will post those ones out to you. So,
Okay, www.jodykalpenos.com and also in Amazon.
it will be, yes, from the 26th. It will be available from Amazon and around Christmas time on Kindle, on the ebook.
Okay, would you like to add something before we finish, please?
I would just like every woman to know that you are more than your story, and that your inner treasure really lies within, but to find it you need to go within.
Yes.
And to not be afraid, really to have a vision for your life that is greater than the fear. And it's okay to feel fear and just work through with that, but ask, why are you afraid? Are you afraid of being successful? Are you afraid of welcoming love into your life? And allow that vision though to just keep you moving forward. Do it at your pace, do it in your own way, trust yourself and believe in yourself. But there is an amazing life for every woman and every person to live. So don't let what has gone before to define you and hold you back. That would really be my message. So, and of course, I love to work with women. I take tours to France for a small group of women, which is about a journey. It's not a touristy tour. That is really about working with the energy of France, and it's just an amazing place, and it really takes you as a woman into a different arena, I think. And I work with women one-on-one if they want to really sit with where they are at as a woman, and it's just to sit with me for a day, and I will meet every woman where she is at her life, and we will work together to see what we can do to help her take those steps forward. And then I work very passionately with young girls, so that hopefully they start their
womanhood. Tell a little bit about your workshop. You told me about the workshop with for girls.
Yes.
Please tell us.
It's a workshop called My Secret Garden for girls 9 to 13, and it's about giving a tool to girls so that they actually see where their real beauty lies, that it's inside. And using guided visualization, I get them to see a garden within and then they come out and create a visual aspect of that, and they can use that as a vision board, an affirmation board, an inspiration board. But it's then about guiding them along and seeing that it's a place they can go back to center themselves, that they can plant seeds to their dreams. So I actually get the girls to plant a seed for a dream they have, because I think many women, we forget what we dreamt of in our lives when we were young, and we lose it when we become wives and mothers and partners. We seem to just let that part of us falls away. So I want to give something to girls that enables them to have some self-confidence, self-esteem, to stay connected to who they are. And so they grow into women who are much more sure of themselves and have much more self-love and acceptance.
It's amazing that girls can start at early age.
Yes.
Amazing.
Yes.
Thank you, Jody. Thank you. It was a pleasure to have you here.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Thank you. Please, don't forget, feel the fear and do it anyway. You can change your life. The past doesn't match with your present or your future. Thank you for being with us. See you next time. All the best. Bye.